Hello, YouTube. Interesting game here for you. So I get a lot of questions when I stream. People asking me if I ever want to be a pro player, if I ever want to join a team, if I want to play in show matches against other players around my ranking, what are my goals, what are my aspirations, blah, 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 right? I get a lot of questions, and my answer to that normally is I really like to play competitively. When I'm playing, I try and play like it's $1 million tournament, but I don't really play to improve, right? I don't watch my recorded games. I don't have anyone coach me. I don't have these things. There's a little weird thing I have with a hotkey. Haven't fixed it in 2 years. Like, that's not my focus, right? That's what I tell people. And then, like, one day a week, and it's always the day where I'm supposed to work, the day where I'm supposed to do real life stuff. Where just like the good old days before I would spend so much time on content, I play. And I wanted to get into the top 100 on this day. I think right now I'm at like 102, not counting the 20 Smurf accounts that are in the top 100, so I'm there. But I had a really good win rate. I had a really good win streak going. And then look who I'm up against. So I decided to cast this because people in the comments a few days ago said they wanted to see it. And I'll talk about my thoughts, everything, what I was thinking, how I wanted to play this. And let's go. So, hi YouTube. Yeah, that's right. I said hi YouTube, and the second I saw I was up against MBL, I said the same thing, because I figured either I beat him and I upload it, or I lose and I upload it. So, yeah, MBL player you see a lot of. He's playing as the Mongols in the yellow, and I am Vikings in the blue. The map is Arabia. So what I'm going to do with this cast is... I'm going to talk about what should and should not happen for these civilizations, the stages, the maps, everything, okay? And I can really pick it apart because it is a very, shall we say, power spike matchup. Mongols are incredible with the faster feudal, with the hunt. So I was really worried about that because he's so good with a scout into archer transition. And my base is pretty open too, so I knew I wouldn't be able to wall. So yeah, I had some concerns. That's where Mongols are really strong. And then Vikings become strong in Feudal Age and Castle Age because of the free wheelbarrow in Feudal, and then the free handcart in Castle Age. And then Mongols become very, very strong in mid to late imp, basically right when they get Elite Mangudai. Vikings can't do anything to counter Elite Mangudai and Hussar. They just can't. So I knew I had to gain a big lead before then. Whether that be with more resources, with more relics. Also worth noting that going into this game, I've played for many, many years. I think on DE, played MBL 4 or 5 times, never won. And while I have beaten him in less serious games, when we were both playing serious, I have never beaten him. There are some, like I think the highest rated player that I've played and beat in a serious game, because I'm actually undefeated against Viper on DE, but I will admit that I know it was not a serious game from him. Was Say My Name, and then I guess you could say Huang. I've beaten quite a few times, but Say My Name was like 9th in the world or whatever when I was able to beat him twice in the evening. But I don't queue against these guys too frequently. Like I think I played Hera once, twice, Viper once, MBL a few more times, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to talk through my thought process, because if you watch competitive play, you know Vikings normally man-at-arms into archers, straight archers. Very rarely are they going to go with scouts. So I actually got what I'm going to try and do here from MBL, because back in the, I want to say 2017, 2018 times, I would see him and some others then soon after he started doing it, going with scouts with archer civs. And it's all because when you go for scouts, you have an incredible economy with all the farms. I actually had an idle villager there. I didn't even realize that. Great start. So I'm not with 4 on wood here. Instead, I wanted to go... I didn't want to have a feudal age time that was too late, so I decided to go for my own scout build. I did not know that MBL was pushing deer and was going to somehow pull off this incredible uptime. He's actually going for 17 population scouts, which will put him in feudal age so ridiculously early. We're going to look at the maps here briefly while MBL's on his way to feudal. So you see his main gold, and his 4-tile gold is here. His 3rd gold is here. His stones here. Stones are the big ones. To deny that from Mongols if I'm able to get forward. Pretty wallable base, though. I mean, a wall here is real easy. Can build along the front. Can even wall between these wood lines, but I think that's pretty close to me, right? It's also more difficult for me to wall because I'm not close to the edge of the map. So you see how MBL's wood line meets the edge of the map? That means he can wall using that wood line so easily. I don't have that, meaning I have to wall more, which is so unbelievably tough against Mongols when they're going to be sending their scout forward. So, again, looking at it from my perspective, what was I thinking? What was I doing? I run forward to scout MBL. Saw he was trying to push a deer and disrupted that. And now, like, I'm thinking I want to stick around here to stop him from pushing it again. But then I realized, oh, shoot, like, he's probably going to be in feudal age soon. And if he's in feudal age, he gets extra attack and extra speed on that scout. So I decided to make a run for it. And fortunately for me, he actually lost track of me. And I'm going to run away. I believe he makes a decision. I haven't rewatched this game yet. But I believe he wants to chase me. And then he makes a decision to go find me because he hasn't found me yet. So I'm like, run away. Run away. Run to the corner. I can't lose this. Still hasn't found me. Still hasn't found me. Still hasn't found me. And then I'm on my way to feudal. This build from MBL, by the way, is pretty aggressive. Notice how he doesn't have any eco upgrades yet. That's not the norm for scout builds. Now, I can't even wall at this point of the game, because if I wall, he has that scout out, I can pick off my villagers. So I realize I'm going to have to eventually wall, but I'm going to have to play defensive. And it's all about just waiting. I see a scout come in, I go to attack with 2 villagers, he runs back, not wanting to lose HP. I actually get housed, and I'm going to get town watched nice and early, because I got pop cats. Great start. Yeah, I'm gonna have that spear. Like, that hurt me so much because I couldn't have the spearman out. If I didn't get pop capped there, I have the spearman out already. So I have to fight with 2 vills and with my scout, and then it's not so easy to do some idle time. There's my stable. At this point, I could tell, like, this is gonna be rough. He's gonna have 3 scouts here shortly. He's gonna run away from any of my spears. But, I still knew my situation was Vikings with a scout into archer transition with good eco here. Could be strong. It's unbelievable just how fast these guys are. I mean, my highest ranking was, I want to say, like 80th or 70th on Voobly and like 60th on DE. And it's just, the difference between the top 10 and others is unreal. Like, here he comes. Now, you can't see it. I tried to place a palisade wall there. And I misclicked it, so I screwed up. And I lose a villager because of it, and he does lose a scout. But I'm just working on eco. Now I have my eco upgrades, he does not have all of his, right? So here's my scout. I was actually hoping to snipe a wallville, because normally this is where a player will wall. And he felt like I was going to have more scouts, I think, which is why he gated like that. But nope, I didn't, because I'm creating villagers instead of scouts. My eco's not at the point where I can make spears, scouts, and vills. So I'm opting for vills. And I think this is where he slowly shifts to falling back. I'm not really sure why. He has so many freaking farms right now, which is unbelievable. Like, definitely more than me. But MBL has gained a lead. Right? He has gained a lead. I actually was going to not produce scouts, but then I saw he had 3. And I knew he had another one over here too, so... Like, okay, I don't want to be outnumbered that badly. And I think I make more as I go to gold and start transitioning. Here I take some damage. Here I have 2 spears. Now, this is what's so good about the scout opening. So, oof. That hurt. Yeah, the pathing from the scout hurt as well. So what sucks about being in my position is MBL can switch to archers at home and send archers forward to snipe my spears. And then he has more scouts than me, and I'm screwed. So, like, I'm working on walling up as passively as possible so I don't lose a lot of vills. A few walls where I need them. MBL's still running around. Snipe my scout. Taking damage off the scout. Another scout pops out. It's just the small things, man. It's just like not so smooth for me. Got a gate and a palisade, which doesn't do too much except get me some style points. And still microing. Now he's going to see my range. And he has 3 basically full HP scouts. So unfortunately for me, another villager goes down. And I'm none too pleased. So I felt brutalized, to be honest. I'm just like, whoo, man, this is so freaking fast. But something you have to remember is Vikings get free wheelbarrow. And that was always in the back of my mind here. Because when MBL goes to research wheelbarrow later on, that's going to idle his TC at the rate it would take to create 3 villagers. So, gate to protect my single villager there. So basically, I can lose 3 villagers, and I'm still going to have similar eco to him. I knew I had a weak villager in here. Tried to wall so he wouldn't be able to comfortably go after it. Fight with my villagers. Buy some time for my spears. This weak villager is almost too weak. I think I'll send her back. Stressful stuff. Now, MBL, adding his range. He's about to be on his way to Castle Age once the range completes. And, did he get a Vil pick there? I don't think he did. And his micro is just killing me. And, I just wanted to wall my base. I really just wanted to wall my base. And I'm gonna get it up. I think I probably should have opted for farms a bit earlier instead of the 2 ranges. We'll see. It's just so hard to do what you want to do when you're on the defensive and constantly reacting. So it's why Mongols are so good, because they can be proactive. This was nifty. Didn't expect this. He added an extra scout because my scout had more HP than that one. So now he's cleared out my scout and I don't know what he's doing. So that sucked. Getting close to clicking up. Blacksmith and then house for me. And I do have an army going forward. At this point, I can assume he's fully walled. However, I am fully walled as well. So I figured maybe I'll get lucky. His 2 spears certainly aren't going to do enough. Or excuse me, his 2 scouts certainly aren't going to do enough against this little force. Might be able to do something to annoy him. This is a very MBL thing to do, to create more scouts like that. And I was really hoping, because I thought there'd be a woodline here. So I was really hoping there'd be another woodline to wall to, but there wasn't. So I also didn't know the extra gold was there. Otherwise I would have walled differently. So, I actually, now that I see this, I feel like this might almost be a little bit of a mistake from MBL. He attacked my woodline before upgrades. I think maybe with crossbow and bodkin, he would have actually killed Vils there, but I have to pull Vils. And guys, this was just complete and utter madness. I'm like, oh god, he's in Castle Age before me. He's gonna have crossbow and bodkin. I can't wall behind here. What do I do? So this is my weird improv. I thought I would wall like this. I would build a tower. See, I collected the stone with these villagers so I could have the stone to build 2 towers. I think that was the logic. Because if I collect 50 more stone, I can build more towers. I think I wanted to build a tower here and here. Like, that's definitely what was going through my mind. And I also had an army over on this side. And I just did attack MBL's villagers. So I felt like, you know, I could maybe distract him. And at least, like, the next wave of army would go in that way. I don't know what happened. Oh, these villagers have the stone. Oh, I'm such an idiot. That's what happened to the stone. They all have the stone in their hands. Don't tell me I clicked them somewhere. Yeah, so basically I didn't have the stone. Like, the thought process was good, but I didn't have the stone for another tower. Which is pretty sad. And, again, I'm just thinking, okay, I'm Vikings. I'm Vikings. I'm Vikings. Guys, if I was not Vikings, I'd be dead. Okay? If I did not have Vikings eco, I'd be completely dead. But having free handcart is always going to be something that can save me. So here I go, and now MBL is going to do whatever he can do to buy himself some time. So I have, what, 7 crossbows and 3 skirms. But it's never ideal to have less military. Have more military and be chasing less military like this. We're both going to micro a bit. He's going to use the scouts as a distract. He also sent 2 crossbows here to annoy me, which I'm now going to clean up. As I was cleaning that up, I got distracted here. And really, I should focus on the crossbows and only the crossbows. Micro, 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 micro. All the time's worth it to MBL. All that time is worth it as I get Elite Skirm. And I'm going to get crossbow as well. And this should be cleaned up. Okay. So after all of that, he does not have wheel. I do have wheel. And I have handcart. And it's 40 villagers for me with 17 military. And he has 42 villagers with 15 military. He had to look back here for this force. And then suddenly, I'm like, alright, I have some momentum. So let's run in over here. And let's keep MBL on the back foot. Let's make him react. And then I'm going to have to boom. I'm a bit undecided on what I think about this TC now. Hindsight being 2020, of course. But I think maybe I should have town center here to protect the wood line. But the idea was to protect the other side of the wood line with the TC. And there we go. The villagers are now building it. MBL's getting ballistics, and he's still been 1 TC. So he's thinking, like, I assumed that MBL was going to boom, because that's what most of the top 10 players will just be extremely greedy and try and boom. So I'm not expecting him to have this many crossbows. And unfortunately for me, I was preoccupied with this. So I'm clearing this out, thinking I'm good. And then now I'm not good. So the skirms, there's not enough of them. They're pretty low. And so we basically trade armies there. And after this, the KD is going to be 21 to 19 for MBL. So MBL, so my 2 TCs are pumping out villagers right now. MBL is still going to have to deal with this force. And he's going to place a TC on the right-hand side. But remember what I said at the start. Like, this is the age where I have to take control of the game. And we're trading pretty evenly right now. So it's still really important for me that I'm getting more numbers out. And getting momentum before he can get access to all these stones. MBL almost, I think okay, small thing. You see how he moved his villagers over to the right side of the wood line? He scanned, so he went build and then pressed house and was hovering the house build out here. And if it says you can't build somewhere, that means that there's units there. It's one of those things where it's not a bug, it's a feature. But the fact that he did that, relocated his vills, then brought his army over, meant he would defend from this, which is just stupid. So we split. I'm leery now. Keep in mind, I don't have ballistics. So I'm just trying my best to micro and out-micro ballistics. This is a losing battle for me because my units are so freaking weak already. But I figured the longer I keep MBL here, just like he did to me, the better. And so I lose the forces. I lose my force. And now I'm patrolling on this hill. Now I'm on 2 TCs. I started to build houses on this hill just as some line of sight. And having to build that tower earlier is really hurting me now because I'm not going to 3 TCs. But I do have more eco than MBL. I'm also getting ballistics. Game is so freaking fast. I was just like, the pace of this game is not something I'm used to, you know? It was just unbelievable how cutthroat everything was. And on many levels, I wish that I could play people at like this elo more frequently with like a slight advantage maybe with the civ or the map, just so I could see how things go. So he's doing runners, out-microing ballistics. I'm doing runners, out-microing ballistics. And I have less numbers, but I do also have the hill. So we're both nerding out like crazy. I definitely felt like I was losing that, and then I said, wait a second. Let's micro. Let's go, MBL. You're going to dance on the right. I'm going to take the middle units. And you know what? It didn't do anything. Because the knights are here. See, I felt like I could do it. And then the knights arrived, and I was like, oh, God, this is not good. 63 villagers versus 53 from MBL. I have decent scouting, and while I don't see this 3-tile gold is here, the other neutral gold is on the right side, and that's really close to us. So there's a lot of gold forward. This gold, whereas he has his gold. It's more secure behind his building. So I'm still thinking about pushing and taking map control despite booming. And, you know, just to be critical of myself, even though I'm in many ways ahead in this game, I really should have had a 3rd town center. I should have used the market. I should not be on 2 TCs right now. Now, I have gone 3 ranges, which I think is good, because I can catch up in production, but I think 3 TC with 3 ranges is very doable at the 30-minute mark with Vikings. So, yeah, that's one way I could have improved this. But MBL running forward to hit my wood line, and I'm here waiting for it. Not sure what the villager's up to. Getting some engagements. This is good, and also trying to defend from those knights, which I think MBL's forgotten about because of the micro, which is sick. The villager's gonna die. I was gonna build a siege workshop on that hill. So he goes down. Knights still attacking the range. Again, I think you forgot about these. And speaking of forgetting about things, forgot about the wood line. That's annoying. Yeah, this is the one moment in Castle Age where I got distracted by everything going on and lost 3 villagers unnecessarily. Yeah, again, I've got to control the game. Look at my food and look at my gold count, guys. The Vil count's really close. I'm going to mix in some siege. And right here, I have 10 crossbows against 10. I mean, this is going to be a close fight. And I'm also over here able to annoy MBL. So I'm starting to get control against the pro player. It's weird. The guy plays in tournaments and I'm casting him all the time. And then to be able to have score lead against him. I didn't really feel nervous. I actually, you know, I didn't believe... And I'll talk more about this later, but I didn't believe that I was actually going to win. It's a lack of confidence, as I'm microing like crazy. Let's go. He's doing the same. It didn't end up being all that pretty in the end, but it looks... Oh, yeah, let's go. It looks good. That's for you, YouTube. As I lose my force over here. That's for you, YouTube. What, did we both trade 3 there? Because we looked at different sides? Alright. 83 Vils for both, 95 pop for myself, and 97 for MBL. Still booming 3 TCs. And, okay. I'm gonna pause, and I want to talk through the stages of the games again, because you see I'm about to up, okay? So, Fast Arbalest, Elite Skirm, is deadly, and it's what Vikings are good at. Despite their water bonuses and infantry bonuses, this is what makes them top tier on land. And I mean top tier. Like, most pros would probably say Vikings are better than Mongols due to this fact. So my eco is going to take me to imp faster, and priority number 1 has got to be killing fast. Here we go. So I added the monastery. I see MBL does not have enough crossbows to deal with me. He's actually getting leather archer armor, and you see he's making skirms now, so he's thinking I will need elite skirm to hold against those arbs. The best thing you can do as Vikings against elite skirm is honestly make your own, because they're light cav trash, and you don't want to bank infantry either at this stage of the game. But yeah, I'm taking a good fight. Over here, 1 skirmisher behind the wood line to be annoying, controlling this gold. Also, the monastery's out, and I'm starting to send monks out to get relics. So I would say my advantage as a player when I play is game sense and map control. I tend to do very well if I can scout the map, take the extra golds, take the relics. That's one thing I prioritize early, okay? So that's why my relics are coming out, whereas MBL doesn't even have a monastery yet. That's what like separates me from some people around my ranking, is doing those small things a little bit better. You know, there I send my own elite skirms in to match MBL and fight on the hill. I'm gonna add some siege, and I have this castle here to protect the gold. Maybe the castle could have been elsewhere, but normally when you expand to the late game, you build castles on hills all over your base defensively. So I felt like castle here, eventually castle here, like castles all over, and then if this goes late, I'll have more golds, because I'm going to control the right side, and then I'm going to find this gold. I mean, I didn't know that at the time. And then I'm going to have relics. That's kind of my thought process. Okay, so I'm still not an imp yet, but it's mainly elite skirm versus elite skirm. I do have to pull these crossbows back. Definitely don't want to throw those gold units away. Because if I'm only going elite skirm, then MBL can make hussars, and Mongol hussars have more HP. So it needs to be arbs with skirmishers. Now, I was very comfortable with how these attacks were going. I knew I would be an Imperial Age faster. starting to build outposts on the left to expand, as I mentioned, and get relics. What I wanted to do was to hit MBL's economy in the back, because he's definitely not going to be expecting that at this point. And then if I hit that economy, he will have to send military to the back of his base, as I send more military to the front. So I have the pop lead. I'm getting the score lead, man. I'm getting the relics. You hear the relics are being collected. I am close to beating MBL for the first time ever. Freaking cockroach, though. He knows how to stay alive in games, and that's what Mongols need to do. Arbalest and chemistry's in. Bracer's in. I'm sniping Vils, and see, again, he's going to have to deal with this now. Okay. So, it's all about stopping Mongols from getting to Mangadai. I noticed that he had this castle here, and so I'm already prepping trebs, and I always say don't trickle treb to you guys. I'm going to follow my advice, and I'm going to drop a castle where I can put my trebs underneath it. I'm still patrolling skirmishers on this gold and around this relic, because I know how important that is. I still have this army of Arbs in the back of his base that he's going to have to deal with. I am controlling the game. More military, and the eco, I guess, is the same at this point, because he has handcart, but he's had to research that. I felt like this would be annoying. I'm just going to send a ram over here and send my skirmishers in. I knew I would idle his eco. I didn't really care. I just wanted to distract him in every area that I could. And there he goes to imp. Now, do you see this? Yeah, this is such a weird thing to do with castles. Like 9 times out of 10, you're going to spread your castles out all around the map. But MBL has placed the castles there, I assume, so I can't snipe them. Elite Mangadai, as MBL is losing villagers to this, and is going to have to deal with this. Elite Mangadai they have an insane bonus against siege. They're way better than Arbalest. And, wow, that was a throw for me. Not that it really matters, I guess, but yeah, Elite Mangadai are key, which means he needs the castles. So he does not want to be within treb range. I believe he was probably tempted to castle here because it's in front of his resources, but that would be perfect for me. Alright. I want to show, like, again, my logic here, as I have a slight lead over MBL, is to get more relics, get the gold, get the map control, and keep it and starve him from gold. Right? Starve him from gold, because if he doesn't have gold, he can't make siege, he can't make Mangadai. That's my logic. I'm about to take this gold with a nice doubt mining camp. I have 3 relics already, and I'm going to be working on getting this one, alright? I'm pausing because I want to talk through my thought process. Now, I was really uncertain on if I could send my trebs forward here. Like, the way those castles are positioned, my trebs have to go so far away, I was really uncertain on what to do. Something I really need here is further forward archery ranges. I'm still producing from ranges that are kind of in random positions. So I was not confident enough to go after his castles. Instead, I'm going after his archer ranges so he cannot make skirms. Guys, MBL has 50 farms back here. Like, the rate at which he's able to boom while I'm pressuring on multiple sides and while he's, like, in this little corner is insane. He has Elite Mangadai. Bracer's about to complete. Okay, so I figured I'm safe. I've cleared out a couple buildings. It's not a huge deal. Oh, no, Bracer! I could have denied Bracer! Ah! Didn't see his Mangadai at all. So now, like, as he sends Mangadai in here and I'm defending, the lack of a pack hotkey really screwed me over. Because I noticed this. I try and pack up my trebs, and as far as I know, it didn't work. Something happened here. Oh, I'm over on this side building a castle to secure the map, take the gold from him, and I'm also going to try and snag that 4th relic. I have a lot of army. It's just not really where it needs to be right now. I thought I have a lead skirm. This is enough. This is enough. This is enough. This is enough. Take out the town center from him. Then we're going to pack it up and go home. Okay, watch. I hate to complain, but watch the pathing here. Watch the trebs. I click them back. Watch it. Why does it go forward first? Ugh. Should have trickle trebbed. So I lost a lot of siege there. Big score lead. We'll have 4 relics because I did make it away with that relic, and I'm taking this gold from MBL. And truthfully, guys, I started, like, I felt really confident because I have this gold. I have this gold, I have this extra stone. And now, since Mongols have so much mobility, my thought process is WWFD. What would Fatslab do? Okay, that's anytime I'm struggling in a game, I think WWFD. And I know Fatslab would not want to be attacked in different areas. So Fatslab would stonewall. So I'm like, okay, MBL's going to try and Hussar raid my eco. I have control of every other area of the map. 200 pop. Let's push. Let's push and let's wall. So I see he's building this stable. I'm going to get fortified wall and work on walling this up. MBL has gold here. MBL has gold here. I'm denying the gold. I still can't comfortably push this. It's getting to that dangerous point where MBL could have elite Mangudai and Hussars. He has 50 farms. He's probably selling wood at this point for gold. I wouldn't surprise me. I have more eco and I'm pop capped. So what can Vikings do against elite Mangudai and Hussar? Let's say there's unlimited gold. Unlimited gold, probably elite Berserk and Arbalest with Rams. Problem is, elite Berserk died to Mangudai. Rams died to Mangudai. Arbalest died to Mangudai. So, realistically speaking, in a normal game, as I send a raid back here, quote-unquote raid, the best thing I can do is just outmass him and try and make it so he can't make Mangudai. And then obviously I cannot allow him to raid me. If he were to raid me, he has so much more speed and I have so much eco back here, it'd be quite bad for me. So my thought process is to be less aggressive because I can't push these castles anymore. I knew I couldn't. And try and outlast him with the 4 relics that I have and the golds. Even upgrading to guard tower here. The problem is his 60 military is better than my 60 military. So here come the Mangudai. He has elite skirms, and he also has light cav here. And I'm like, shoot! And then my units get caught up here as I try and retreat, and I'm like, oh no! What is happening? YouTube, you know? I'm like, oh god! All my confidence is disappearing. I don't know what to make. This trebuchet, I guess I was thinking of sending forward, and that trebuchet is easy pickings for MBL. You know, there's so much I'm doing at the same time. I tried to get these units into the back of MBL's eco. I think at some point I try and send vills over there to make buildings. I am getting plate mail armor, and I'm thinking pikes because Viking pikes have extra HP. Score normally is a great indicator of who's winning. I have the score lead. In fact, I have quite a big score lead, and I know I have relics, and I know I have both extra gold. So I'm still feeling good. Worried because MBL is the biggest cockroach, but I'm still feeling okay. We're 51 minutes into this game. I didn't think this at the time, but, you know, if I lose at this point, then I did well against one of the best players in the world. So, you know, that's like the caster's logic. That's the nice guy caster's logic, but at the time, I'm just like, I want this win. I want this win. I have outplayed him in Castle Age and Early Imp. I have the extra golds. I have the relics. I look at my scouting, you know, I'm feeling good. I have a lot of arbs with the skirms. MBL does not have Hussar yet. Tough for me because I'm losing a lot of the gold units. But again, yeah, I can't... Viking light cav are trash, so I really can't use light cav against his skirms, and I've got to go with a mix of skirms and arbs, as I mentioned before. Here comes my little raid. Not much happening on this side. MBL did try to take that gold back a few times, and I was there to defend it. Murder holes! I'm getting murder holes because I saw it in low elo legends once. MBL is getting Hussar. So I have all this eco. I can't push, so I actually added more eco because I knew I was going to lose a lot of units and I would need resources to constantly make more. And then I got architecture a moment ago, so I was just like, basically try and stall out and win. But guys, like, even if I micro, I can't kill Mongols. How many trebs have I lost? F's in the comments for my trebuchets in this game. It's ridiculous. Remember, Mongols have a bonus for siege, or Mangudai have a bonus for siege, so siege ram would also do very little. Unless I do siege ram from the sides, like a small raid here. I am going to make some stables here so I can raid with light cav a little bit to have some mobility. Alright, so I still have a stone for a castle. And I have the right side castled, I have the mid castled. I have a lot of castles in this area. So I got really worried that MBL was going to break through, so I built a castle here. Yeah, I figured if MBL streams units in, my castle would catch that as I take an engagement, which is not great because it's mainly against skirms. But the good thing against Mongol skirms, I will mention, is that they get they don't get the final armor upgrade, so not quite as tanky. 18 on gold for me. That includes this and this. A couple thousand gold remaining there, and I'm going to do my best to... I actually added barracks so I could have pikemen and skirms here to defend, and I rewalled behind to buy time. Good score lead. I definitely was in autopilot mode. Like, I could have more military out. I was still creating vills. It's just like constant going through the TCs and buildings. Which happens. And then he disappears. So I start to feel a little bit confident. And now I'm looking at the Hussar numbers like, holy cow, that's insane. Like, he can kill me with just Hussar Skirmisher. It's stupid. It's so stupid. I got a Berserk doing some work. Haha, that rhymes. And I'm gonna lose another trebuchet! No! No, make it stop. MBL has Mangudai. He has broken through. He is here with Hussars. You guys can probably see the direction this game is going, right? It's not easy for me right now. I wanted the castle to make him leave this area, right? But he sees that I'm on this wood line, so he's going to hit this. He's also going to use the Hussars to start spamming on the right. And while for many moments of this game, I was the one who was dictating the pace of the game, wow, the Voodoo scared me. It is now MBL who's starting to dictate the pace of the game. So I don't have speed, and this is where things get messy, because I need military back here to deal with the Mangudai. I need military over here to deal with the Rams, which I'm trying to do with Light Cav. I also need to, like, this is kind of an opportunity for me to push. Maybe he'll misjudge this. Maybe he'll lose his Mangudai. Oh, God, look at my villagers. And if he loses his Mangudai, I could use this as a moment to push mid. Almost a risk I need to take because I knew this is bad. Thank God he didn't see my 40 villagers here. Thank God. Can you imagine? Oh, man. And I'm streaming units back here. Like, when he was here, I said to create units on this side. Still slowly trebbing some buildings. Now I'm sending units back into my base. It's just... I felt so helpless at this point. And I was still so baffled that with all the gold that I've collected, I wasn't able to mount a real push. When I play with that level of map control against like players ranked 30 to 110, that's the way I win games, right? So I think I've left. Oh God, I've tried to go back to this wood line. He had Hussars there. Here he's raiding, and guys, I have 50 idols, 100 vills, and now MBL will use his next wave of military to take out my main force, which wasn't really pushing at all. At the same time, MBL will have drill rams. These are rams that are speedy because of that upgrade, and he's going to try and push this gold. I'm still working on mopping him up. Had to mop him up here. Had to mop him up here. Have to mop him up over here. And I'm just like, another one? No, have mercy. I'm going to lose this treb as well. 160 pop. I'm very well aware that I just lost. Like, if I had momentum, I lost it. And it's really tough to stabilize at this position, because I'm going to start creating new vills, but half the time I'm not sending them to a resource. Actually, all my TCs are just set under this wood line, because I didn't have the attention span to be able to like send them all to the individual wood lines where I needed them to be. He's actually farming in this corner, which is really weird. I can see most of the map. MBL can see most of the map. I go forward again, thinking, let's do it. Can't push. I hit a stone wall. And I am continuing to hold and stabilize at this gold. Still with 4 relics. But now MBL is in a position where he's like, okay, T90, come at me. Like, you are struggling to kill my Mangudai mass. My Hussars and Skirmishers seem to be enough anyways. And I'm going to take this castle out, and it's going to make life so much easier for me, because you have to send all your new units here. And as I send my new units here, he's going to show up here. And it's just back and forth all over the place. In fact, I actually mentioned this game in the Acropolis game where Kasva turns Acropolis into Arena against MBL. And we both had our moments in this game where we'd switch back and forth and try and control things. MBL runs right through. I guess, in hindsight, I probably should have stone-walled between the barracks, but that's so much walling. And it still doesn't solve my problem of not being able to push his castles, or push him in any way. I'm going back on golds, and my arbs are running back again. If you missed it, I do have full upgrades on my pikes. As you can see, doesn't really accomplish much, and my army melts. Yeah, 60 Viking population is significantly worse than 60 Mongol population. Still trying, though. See, the score lead told me that I was still in it. And the population told me I was still in it. But I felt like, since I've had so many moments where I haven't been able to do something. I'm going to try and raid his eco, by the way, which he reacts to immediately. It did start to dawn on me that this might not be a win for me. I'm still trying my absolute best. I have so many buildings. Like, on the right side, I got some buildings. I guess I don't have that many production buildings, actually. But compared to... Well, MBL doesn't have that many stables. Maybe that's standard. But yeah, it's hard for me to push past his castles on that side, and I can't push mid. And right side, I'm kind of like holding and stabilizing. Still with more pop! Come on, T90. Come on, past self. You can do it. You can do it. People have made fun of your farms for too long. Nah, I'm kidding. You guys can continue to do that. That's fine. Actually, hold on a second. Oh, God. Oh, there's some bad ones. Oh, it is bad. Oh, what is that farm? Why did you build a farm over there? What is wrong with you? Hold on. Okay, new farms. All right, at least there's mills around there. What is this? What is this? Oh, there's a mill. That's fine. What is this? Okay, that's fine. These are the bad ones, because I forgot to build a mill. Okay, I'm going to tell you real quick. I guess we'll keep playing. I'm going to tell you why T90 farms exist. It's because I miscalculate how much wood I have. So it's really a math problem. So if, like, Spirit of the Law and I had a baby, which I don't want to happen at all, then we would have perfect farm. Our child would have perfect farms. God, I need to edit that out. Because he would be able to calculate how much wood I have in the bank and how many farms that equals. Because I'll have enough for 4 farms, and then I won't have enough for the mill, but I never go back to finish it, and it leads to situations like this. Siege Ram now. MBL has 78 farmers. He can spam Hussars and Skirms all day. And the Rams are going to 2-2-2 their way to my castle. I'm repairing. I even created some Berserks. It was desperation mode at this point, so... Making the pikemen out of some of my barracks anyways. See, I'm still seeing this as an opportunity to possibly push the mid. But then MBL just repops with Hussars and Skirms and takes that out. Yep, farmers going down for me, and I have less military, and we've already established how even if it's even military, I'm in trouble. He hasn't used... Like, MBL didn't have that many Mangadai in this game. Like, I don't think he ever got above 30. But just having the... Just keeping them alive and having the Hussars, and then later the mobility, is just so tough for me to deal with. Needed to push faster. Siege Engineers coming in, that's going to help him. As I said, he's going to deal with this, and, like... I'm hitting and running to the best of my ability, but for him, he's not losing gold units. His gold units over here are still taking out castles. My monasteries here, I actually thought twice about relocating the relics, but that's a lot of clicking, and when you can't build farms, you also can't put relics in monasteries. So, 177 pop versus 190 pop. MBL's backing up, and who's the cockroach now, MBL? Who's the cockroach now? The only area of this map I didn't scout was this corner and this corner. I guess, like, there was some potential for me to do more over here. Which, spoilers, I never hit. But I was rather preoccupied. This score is getting really close. MBL also just sent Mangadai behind my wood line. He knows that I'm out of wood. He sees the wood here, he sees the wood here. He knows that I'm going to be, like, coming to the sides of the map for wood, because there's not a lot left in my base. And, you know, I have bigger problems than wood. I have unit comp problems. I was so close. I was so close. Easy to say now, but I needed to almost go all in an imp instead of expanding. Like, it was so... Like, I played this game a lot, but I've never had, like, a pro say to me, it was wrong to get relics, you know? And I said to him after the game, because you can see what direction this is going, I was like, I had 4 relics, I had both extra golds, and I still lost. And I understood why, because of the options. And MBL is back on this wood line now, annoying, annoying, annoying. But yeah, he said, forget relics. Put everything you have into pushing the castles and pushing and killing me early. Because in late game, Vikings have nothing on Mongols. And again, I'm not going to be punished as heavily for not pushing as rapidly as I needed to do in this game against someone who's not in the top 10 or top 20. There are also other aspects of my Castle Age play I talked about. There's the GG. I give him the well played because that was such a good game. Like, I can't help but just admire how good my opponent was here, because I thought I played it well, but yeah, I could have been on a 3rd TC faster in Castle Age. I did lose some villagers in feudal that could have possibly been avoided with some better quick walls. Yeah, that was the closest I've ever been to beating MBL. You know, lessons learned. So look at the statistics. Look at the gold. I mean. That stat does not make me feel good, even looking at it right now. So much more gold. It's ridiculous, man. KD was ahead, 82 versus 77, largest army. 99% of the map explored, 97% of the map explored by myself. 4K relic gold that would have continued, and guys, yeah, it just comes down to I gotta push. I have to give MBL a lot of credit, because his... Like, I lost so many trebs, right? But I was so hesitant on being able to push the trebs forward. I'm still not sure that if I would have gone for these castles right away with my original 5 or 6 trebs, if I would have been able to take them out. Like, I think he would have repaired this castle, and then he probably would have sniped them anyways. So I think if that's the case, if that's what I think would have happened, if I would have used my first army, my first batch of trebs after his castles, what I need is more army. Which might bring me back to the archer ranges. I do have 7, but you'll notice that like, these 3 are still in the back. These 3 are kind of further back from where the castle was. This one's on the right side. So yeah, maybe I needed forward production buildings. Maybe I needed like 4 ranges here so I could reinforce quicker, because that was a big concern for me. The units were running from the back of my base. Again, something that's so simple when you zoom out and look at it from a caster's perspective, but At the time, you just look and you say, okay, I have units queued, we're fine. I didn't exactly think about how far they might have been coming from. These buildings over here were mainly just to, like, the stables were to raid. Is this pikeman, is he trapped? What? He's trapped in there, poor guy. Oh, he's probably so lonely. Yeah, but these stables were to raid. The barracks and the skirms were built to, when he was trying to raid me in defense. But I think at this point, the late game, defend the flanks, build castles everywhere strategy, which works in most instances, does not work in the Civ matchup. I think this castle, and arguably even this castle, all needed to be forward. Build the first castle, treb this down. Build another castle, put the trebs next to it, treb this down, and just work my way into his base instead of to the sides. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I tried to give you my perspective on what lessons I learned. It definitely wasn't perfect by any means, but I am truly satisfied with getting that close. This is not something you should expect too frequently. I honestly felt like this is a good game, both to give you my thoughts, but also I felt like the Civ matchup was interesting, right? Because MBL got an early lead, I got ahead in the mid game, and then Mongols got ahead in late game, which is, it falls into where the power spikes lie for each Civ. As I always say, when people ask me, T90, are you going to play on stream? T90, are you going to train? Truthfully, no. I actually spent 5 hours playing on this day that I probably should have been doing other things. So, you know, it's like my procrastination tool at this point. But there might be, I'm considering in the future if there's a USA Cup. I think it'd be pretty badass to compete in that. Because I am top 5 US, but there's players like Scotty and Spring and Daniel and, some others who are very competitive and would be really cool to compete. But yeah, I just don't know, man. If I had to choose between like bumping up 20 to 30 spots in the world rankings or making good content, I would choose making good content, and that's where the problem lies. But that is it. Hope you all enjoyed this. If I remember to recommend the proper video, oh, a sub. Who was that? Who was that? Salty Null. Thank you for the 3 months with Twitch Prime. Yeah, if I remember, I will recommend another one of my games where I casted my gameplay on DE, so you guys can get some more insights on what I was or was not doing correctly in one of my games. Cool. That's it. I need to go eat. I'm hungry. We'll see you next time.